Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here from simpleprogrammer.com. And today we're going to be talking about blockchain. Andre says, blockchain, is it the next big thing? What are the skill sets needed? Do you recommend studying it? And I'll briefly talk about the investing side, because I don't think that, I mean, yes, a lot of people have made a lot of money in investing in cryptocurrencies, okay, which are based on blockchain. I don't think that it's a good idea because it's not an investment, it's a speculation. I'm not for investing, quote, speculating in cryptocurrencies, even though people have made a lot of money, simply because it is a speculation and there's no guarantee, right? I like to do things that are guaranteed, that have a high chance of success. I don't like to make bets on stuff that maybe will work. Because even if they do work out, what do you give yourself a pat on the back and say you picked the right horse? I don't know. I don't care to do that. I care to earn the stuff that I achieve in life, because those things are more rewarding. But let's talk about blockchain itself, right? In the technology. That I'm 100% bear on the technology itself, because it's a superior technology. It makes sense. I think that currency is going to go that direction. I see it as the future, right? I mean, you see all these kind of futuristic movies or sci-fi novels, and they talk about having credits or a cred stick, right? And that hasn't been possible before because of the problems with fiat currencies, with monetary systems, and with governments controlling and being able to print up money, right? Whereas the cryptocurrencies, the blockchain technology, not only allows us to limit the supply of the money to be almost like it was on a gold standard, but it does expand. The monetary system does expand, which is important. Otherwise, you have a huge deflation, which is not good, which you still have in cryptocurrency, by the way. I mean, you can see it. That's why a lot of these coins are going so far up. They're driven by speculation and deflation, really, as the currency is more scarce and becomes more valuable and more people want it. But what I see is that this is definitely the future, right? I mean, I would bet on this technology for sure, right? I don't know that the cryptocurrencies are going to go up, and I don't know that something better isn't going to come along, but it's going to be based on blockchain. That's what I'm saying, is that because this makes so much sense, right? It makes so much sense that we finally have this solution where, if you think about it, government, we can't trust any government in the world, okay? Because we can't trust governments with monetary supply. Every single government that has ever gotten their hands on money that has created fiat currency has fucked it up, right? Think about this, right? Look at all the countries that have had major ridiculous inflations. Even here in the United States, we still have stagflation all the time, and we're messing with money, and we're having disastrous results, okay? So managing money is something that, especially as we become more of a world society, needs to be handled in a decentralized type of way. And blockchain makes sense. Also, if you think about it, blockchain, just the idea, the concept of having, this peer-to-peer, this validation happening from multiple nodes and, multiple people verifying things. I think that makes sense for contracts. You hear about things like Ethereum, which uses, and there's other cryptocurrencies based off of this that have this contract idea where you can actually create contracts and enforce contracts and, verify them for multiple properties. Think about property ownership and land ownership and things like that, and titles to things that if we have this blockchain technology, we can verify very definitely who is the owner of the property and what transactions occurred, and we can prevent fraud. So this stuff all makes sense and it's all decentralized. So what I recommend, okay, is I would recommend that if you're interested in this stuff, yes, learn about it in depth. I have a cursory knowledge, but if you're interested in it, I highly encourage you to learn it, especially as a software developer, because I see this as a huge field, right? There's so many companies already now that are investing in the technology and that are going to have to invest in the technology in the future. And so having this in-depth knowledge, and it's not easy. It's a complex thing. It really is complex, right? I tried to go through and understand Bitcoin at one point, and I have the gist of it, but I don't understand the intricacies of it. I'll be honest with you, because there's a lot. lot to it. So this is a good thing, I think, a good market to move into. I think that it's a growing and expanding market, and there's always going to be jobs here. And so, if you're interested, take the time, but learn it in depth. But don't play around in the market. Don't like that speculation. That's how you're going to lose. So many people that are like blockchain geeks or cryptocurrency, they're just playing the market just like a stock trader. And there's nothing wrong necessarily with that. I traded stocks for a long time, but what I'm saying is that the real value, the real people that are going to become billionaires, not just millionaires, billionaires off of this technology, are not going to be the people that trade the currency. They're going to be the people that do something with the currency, that invent technologies on top of it, right? And maybe some of the people that create the currencies to some degree. But that's what it is. It's the technology itself, right? It's not the currency. It's not the speculation. It's the investment on this. So can you build a business, for example, on top of blockchain? Can you build a business on top of cryptocurrency? If you can do that, that's where you're going to see the real value. And that's what I'd highly encourage you to do if you're interested. All right. Thanks for the question. Good question. If you have a question, you can email me at john@simpleprogrammer.com. And make sure to click the subscribe button. Click the bell below to make sure you don't miss any videos, as I do like 2 to 3 a day. Yes, I'm not kidding. So click that bell. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.